Take a look. It's August 4th, 2025. I am at Joel Pearl, thejoelpearl.com on Blue Sky, and it's time to get in the weeds. A happy Simcoe Day / civic holiday for my Canadian friends up here. As a result, happy holiday. I don't know. This is a weird holiday. It just exists. Like provincially, it just happens, and this is one of them. It's the August holiday, but I'm here because this is technically a Canadian American company that also focuses on content. So I work, and also allegedly I don't run from the grind sometimes, and sometimes I have an axe to grind. We'll get to that later. Jeremy Lambert is here. He comes, he goes, he does it all. Sometimes he comes again. How you doing, Jeremy?
Why are you so loud?
I'm always loud.
Yeah, very loud.
Should I turn myself down? Chat, am I too loud? Am I screaming?
I feel like you're yelling. Why are you yelling at the mic?
I gotta yell at everyone.
Yeah.
I turn myself down. How's that?
All right. No, that's fine.
It's a little better.
Yeah.
Just turn your stuff down. You'll be fine. Yeah, good. How you doing, pal?
I'm tired, but I'm here. You know, long weekend, a lot going on this weekend. We're main channel, which is fun, you know, but we'll see how this goes.
So for those who don't know, we are a show that runs Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern, over on our sister channel. That's Fightful Overbooked. Go subscribe now. But every Monday at the beginning of the month, so the first Monday of every month, we go live here on Fightful on the main channel to give you guys a bit of a taste of what we do. We're nonsense, but we're also sometimes a little serious. We get weird, we get funny, but we're a morning show. And we tell it like it is, I guess, is what the kids like to say. But I don't know. What are we going to do? We're going to turn babyface and not exactly explain why? No, this is our show, and this is what we do. We have guests.
Please explain why.
I mean, cheaply.
5 months ago, we just threw it all away to make shocking content. And once those people left, what were we left with? You know?
Is this an indictment on The Rock, or is it an indictment on Netflix and the Unreal series? Because now it's all messed up.
A lot to talk about. With a lot of things.
This is going to be ongoing throughout the week. I'm sure of it. We're going to be in the weeds on this. I know we are. There's going to be plenty to talk about. There's going to be a lot of conversation. There's going to be a lot of people feeling certain ways and explaining their fandom to others. I'm not going to explain fandom to others. I'm going to let people make the decisions that they make based on how they feel about watching a television program. What we are at the end of the day is a media-centric company that covers professional wrestling, that covers an entertainment genre. To just say sit back and let it happen is not what people do in our position. What we do is call out, discuss, and shine a light on some of the things that people might not want to hear but do need to hear. So once again, if this bothers you as a fan of professional wrestling, that's okay. If you want to turn off your brain and go watch it without worrying about what happens behind the scenes in this business for real, that's totally your decision. You don't get to attack anybody as a result of this, by the way. I'm going to do my best not to attack anyone in the chat unless you are being completely douchebaggish, if you will. But instead, I want people to know that this show has a lot of really intelligent people who chat with us, who hang out with us. And if it's your first time, welcome. I hope you'll do the same. And if you're not, well, this is probably not the place for you. And that's okay. There are plenty of podcasts doing plenty of things. And you can find your home. And if this is it, great. If it's not, here we are.
Well said, Joel. Well said.
Jeremy, where the fuck was Travis Scott last night?
Man, it was disappointing that Travis Scott didn't come out, honestly.
Can you believe that we are in a timeline wherein Travis Scott not showing up is the problem?
Yeah.
We were so close. I had the video just ready to go. I had the helicopter scene. I had it all set up and ready, and all of a sudden I was like, nah, there, delete that. Nobody watched Friday's show.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were right there.
I was looking forward to Travis Scott. I thought that would have been the funniest thing they could do this weekend, and they didn't really do anything funny. Sadly, they just did stuff. Yeah.
A show that had SummerSlam, that is, had a lot of stuff going for it that was good. I'm not going to call it the best show ever and nothing like that, but I thought, it had a lot of really fun stuff, a lot of fun matches, a lot of fun moments, because that is what WWE does. But when it comes to sticking the landing, well, that's a whole other conversation that unfortunately takes away from the entirety of two nights that had a pretty okay showing. I think when you take both nights, you kind of 50-50 it, and we'll get to there.
Yeah, across the two nights. I mean, we'll go back to SmackDown because that set up a lot of stuff with Cena's promo, and an amazing promo, by the way. Absolutely amazing promo with just deciding, you know what, these last 5 months, they don't count. Sorry about that. Our bad, my bad on this. They just don't count at all. And then he was babyface at SummerSlam. Some people thought it might be a swerve because it's like, oh, he's going to trick Cody. No. Good on them, I guess, for course correcting and realizing, oh, yeah, these 5 months sucked. But also, you booked it. You could have done something different with the heel turn. You didn't. You did what you did. And yeah, it wasn't good. And I said the whole time, it wasn't good. Please do not give me, and people tried, do not give me, oh, it was bad on purpose. Okay.
Turns out it was bad on purpose.
Yeah. It's amazing that it kind of worked because he got the biggest reaction of the night last night. Like, the fans just popped for him running to the ring. They're like, oh, it's the old John Cena. Yeah. It's like, well, that heel turn was so bad that that's what people wanted. They wanted to see the good John Cena. I guess in that sense, it worked. Just an amazing bit of incompetence after that initial turn to not have a plan and to not have a direction after that.
I think some people who are new to our chat need to understand that amazing is not a good qualifier coming out of your mouth. It's almost like it's shocking in a lot of ways, the way that people just kind of let it go and let it happen. When I watched it, I was like many under the same impression. It's like, oh, this is going to be part of the storyline, and maybe he'll turn back. I made the joke on Twitter. I was like, kick him in the dick and let's go home, because that's fully what I expected. Fool me once, shame on me. Fool me once, shame on you. But instead, it was things the other way around. But anyway, instead, we got John coming out, and give credit where credit's due. Not only was the match a lot of fun and really well paced out, they also had a lot of toys to play with, which helps. When you do a street fight, you can walk and brawl. You play to the strengths of John Cena at this age. But you also had the introduction when he comes out and he does the big John Cena aerial font Tron, and then it transforms into the big bright babyface John Cena. I thought the production of the entrance was really cool. That clearly got the people on their feet and excited. It was a really interesting, a really fun visual. But getting there from Friday was just like, wait, Friday made no sense. It was SP3's in the chat, and he's exactly right. It was just, our bad. We screwed up. Don't blame Triple H, the maker of all things WWE. It's A, it's my fault, and B, it's The Rock's fault. And by the way, WWE Unreal proved that we had nothing planned up ahead of this. So like, all they did was own up to something. That doesn't make it okay. That makes it lazy, which is the problem. But a lot of people just want to kind of see it and say, okay, they addressed it. Now we move on. Well, okay, fine, you move on, but it still has to be discussed that they never had a plan. They never wanted to make a plan. And it turns out the plan was whoopsie, or Netflix, get this moment. And then John Cena didn't want, you know why John Cena didn't want to address it? Because John Cena didn't know what was going to happen. That's kind of my new take, was when he would tell the cameras on Untold, being like, I don't want to talk about it because then I'll give up the story. Da, da, da. I was like, I don't think you knew the story, because I don't think there was a story. And then we got to this moment on Friday where he's like, LOL, my bad. And that was it. And we moved on. And that's just dumb.
Well, they definitely didn't have a story. I agree that Cena didn't want to give up the story because he didn't know the story. But even if he doesn't know the story, he could have still talked about how it came together and his thoughts on that. And he just didn't want to do that. I don't know how much Cena cared to do this. So we're going to have a discussion about the return here in a second. And Triple H's comments compared to John Cena's comments about things, because they're on two separate pages, and they've been on two separate pages, at least publicly. And maybe privately things are different, but publicly they've been on two separate pages. And that kind of played out over these last 5 months as well, that they are on two different pages with how this retirement thing is going. Triple H booked this because he didn't want Cody to turn. Honestly, not a bad call. But then there was no follow-up. There was no plan after that. What Cena pitched, no idea. What he wanted to do, no idea. Did he want to work with R-Truth? Did he want to get the title back to Cody at SummerSlam? Did he want to work with Punk? Maybe. However they got there, it wasn't good television. It just was not good. Even the Punk stuff wasn't good. The best part was the Cena riffing on the pipe bomb. But otherwise, it wasn't good TV during this turn. I sat here every week saying it wasn't good. And I say this as a huge John Cena fan. I wanted this to be good. I was looking forward to him doing something spectacular with this heel run. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to say it. Again, if you've watched this show long enough, you know my thoughts, you know my stance on it. But for people who are new, maybe you've already tuned out. I thought this turn was dead in the water those first weeks when he was generic heel A against Cody. When he does the Mike Mizanin fighting pose, and then he acts like he's going to leave the ring, and he comes back in, and he swings, and Cody ducks, and Cody lays him out. I'm like, this is generic heel A bullshit right here. This is not the biggest star, one of all time, in one of the most shocking heel turn moments, turning heel and understanding what's going on. Hogan didn't get laid out like that his first week as a heel, looking stupid. If he did, the whole thing probably would have failed, just like this failed. He was treated as a heel no different than any other heel. And that was the mistake. He should not have been some random heel. He should not have been some guy that just turned heel because they had no other plan. He's John Cena. You call him, your own company calls him the greatest of all time. You didn't have a plan besides generic heel A? Somebody screwed up.
Well, I've got a plan for you guys. Leave a thumbs up on this video, would you? Go ahead. If you do that, you get some pyro, you get some ballyhoo, you get Jeremy sipping out of a cup. Everyone's happy. But yeah, leave a thumbs up on the video if you haven't already. You can go ahead and subscribe to this channel and Fightful Overbooked. That's where you find us most of the time, over on youtube.com/Fightful Overbooked, 5 days a week, 10 a.m. Eastern. Where are those fireworks? They jobbing us out?
They wasted them all on SummerSlam.
Oh, the worst. And also, you can donate a super chat. Any amount, get your question or statement read on the air. let me get you to some breaking news right now. The New York Post Sports has announced that AEW is returning to the Prudential Center for Full Gear on Saturday, November 22nd. Tickets go on sale August 25th. So there you go. Get excited. If you didn't like what happened in New Jersey last couple of nights, they're going to try again in November, and it's going to be different. You got to give the trolls a little bit of something, because that's hilarious.
It honestly is very funny. I mean, clearly they had to wait to announce this because SmackDown ran Prudential Center on Friday, and the whole arena gimmick where you got to wait a certain amount of time before another company can run and announce things. So I don't know when they actually got this thing booked, but obviously it wasn't. They didn't just book it today. Although it'd be hilarious if Tony saw that show and was like, "Hey, New Jersey, we got a show for you."
I have an idea. Call them up, pal. They've ran Prudential Center before, so I think they had Full Gear there a couple years ago.
I think it was this past year, because Big Boom was part of it.
Oh my gosh, there you go. Well, looking forward to that happening.
Show's on a Saturday. That's all I care about.
Yeah, exactly. You can go and get your sleep in before Sunday. So there you go. If you're an AEW fan and you're looking for where Full Gear has been, and that people have been asking, now you know. Saturday, November 22nd at the Prudential Center, the Rock, if you will. Not that Rock, though. The Rock is the Prudential Center. That's what they call it. It's over in New Jersey. So have fun with that. Saturday PLEs are always the best. What was I going to say about this? Coming back to Jersey. Doesn't matter. There you go. There's your short for today. Gotcha. Where do we go from here? The turn happens.
Yeah.
We got through it. And should we hop into the main event, or should we talk a little bit about other stuff first?
Let's get into it and run off the people who are going to be mad about things, and then
here for it.
See who
sticks around.
Mad about yeah.
All right. Remember, we're trying to be respectful, but we're going to give you facts too. Volib sends a super chat. Get your finger on the button.
Oh, okay. Hold on.
I should have given you the warning. My bad. You ready?
No.
Oh okay. Man, this is what happens when you're working. Volib says, "Vanilla fumble."
I'm vanilla, baby.
Is what we call when we have a named member in a sexual assault lawsuit on TV before discovery. So, talked about the aforementioned John Cena babyface turn. John Cena drops the WWE Championship to Cody Rhodes. By the way, Cody Rhodes was in a match against John Cena and won in a very, very good street fight that we'll talk about in a little bit. And then much like night one, they're hanging on the presentation. They're hanging on the finish. They're not really talking much, but you know something's going to happen. And then all of a sudden his music hits. And out comes Brock Lesnar. Basically just rehashing the 2021 SummerSlam finish, which to me that was funny because it's lazy. And it's also just like, all right, we're going to do it again. Cena lost to Roman, and then out came Brock that year. So we're going to do it again. Brock comes out, lays out John Cena, and I see you in Paris, I guess. Sure. But if you have another time you want to do it, I'd love to hear it. But I think, is he going to do it in San Diego at War Games?
Perth, maybe.
Oh, you go all the way down under, huh?
Yeah.
They don't have that big of a stadium to fill out, do they? I don't even think they're doing a stadium. They're running a venue, just a regular arena.
Yeah, I think that's more likely though, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, Cena's announced for Paris and for Australia, so regardless, that's what happened. So let's get a couple things out of the way. No, he is not a defendant in this sex trafficking lawsuit. Yes, he is a named person who is involved in it. In other words, he has played a role in the trafficking of somebody else for the purposes of Brock Lesnar re-signing a WWE contract in 2021. Whether or not something happened, there was still intent for Brock Lesnar to use somebody in a sexual manner to get a deal and to have a new deal signed. You can get into he's not guilty or he's not a defendant. That's fine. What we are, and most people are really talking about here, is the ethics, the optics, and the reasoning. to do something like this. There are multiple facets to this conversation. One of which is, if you want to take the wrestling standpoint, what does Brock coming back mean or do for WWE from a storyline perspective? From a business perspective, I understand that people are excited. People will pay their money, blah blah blah. It is what it is. You'll make your decision to part with your money however you will. Now, on the other hand, if John Cena wanted to work with Brock and nobody says no, then sure, that's your other thing that's going on. I don't think anyone gets put over in this route. It's just a John Cena jerking himself off in 2025 type of matchup because he's having a retirement tour. So there's that. There's the wrestling side out of the way for y'all, and we can address that in a minute. The reality of it is that there is a ridiculously obvious ethical disregard for anybody who knows about this. And again, we may be in a minority and we may be quote unquote a vocal minority, but we're here to shine those lights on these situations. At the end of the day, allegedly, and in the documents of the lawsuit, I'm paraphrasing, but this is it. The only reason Brock did not have sex with Janelle Grant is because he got too drunk to perform and couldn't go to the hotel. Plain and simple. You can go back and you can read those. You can read all about it. Yeah, I've even reposted some of them on my own Twitter. Go ahead and do that. Don't care. If you want to see Brock Lesnar in WWE in 2025, that's all you. The way I saw it was you brought him back at the dumbest possible time for the dumbest possible reasons other than money. I think that's pretty lame to start and pretty tone deaf to continue. There's even a third side, Jeremy, and then I'll get your thoughts. And that is the press conferences, talking about media, talking about this event, talking about media getting involved with WWE programming or WWE, just WWE in general. Stuff like this. When you say no more press conferences, you're almost telling us we don't care what you think and we don't want you poking around. People are still going to poke around. Now they're just not going to hold themselves accountable when being held accountable in person. And that part is pretty messed up. I'll say it flat out, pretty fucked up. 7-second thing really makes me want to swear a lot more now. I'm going to try not to, but once in a while I think it's warranted. So here we are. Brock's back, and there are many, many, many ways to look at this. And also, if you start with whataboutism in the chat, I'm just going to time you out, and that's one warning for you.
So his music hit. And I'm just like, why? What? Why? What are we doing? You just spent the week glad-handing with Donald Trump to make America fit again, even though that's probably not going to happen. You gave a terrible answer about Vince and the allegations, and then you're going to bring back Brock. It's like, what? Just don't be shitty. That's all you got to do. Don't be shitty. And they can't help it. I didn't want to cover the post show last night. Like, I don't want to cover Raw tonight. I know people are going to do the people complaining are still going to watch. Yeah, I don't really have a choice. I got a job to do. If I had a choice, probably would have given up on stuff a long time ago. But here we are. I have no... What is my... Shut up, phone. Sorry.
Can't believe chat's got your phone number. Now they're going after you.
It's like, what are we doing? No, Brock is not named as a defendant. Did he lawfully do something wrong? I guess that kind of depends on some of the things that he is accused of and how much he knew, because maybe, like, Joel just kind of laid it out. If he knew Janelle Grant was a bargaining chip and went along with that. Don't think that's within the law. Honestly, feels like you knew you were part of a trafficking. I don't know, felony, misdemeanor. Feels like you knew at that point. If you knew, I don't know how much he knew. Let's say he did nothing lawfully wrong. He is still named in an active lawsuit against the company. A big part. I know Triple H and I know other executives are named as well, executives who still work there. Their naming is how much did they know what was going on? They could have plausible deniability of what they knew was happening. Brock doesn't. There is text messages from Vince talking about Brock. There are more detailed stories talking about Brock. So, sure, lawfully, did he do anything wrong? Maybe, maybe not. But morally, there's a lot of questions. And when you just look at it from a human perspective, it doesn't seem like they care a whole lot about this lawsuit if they are going to bring back a television performer. That if they're so hot right now, do they really need when he is outright named in this active lawsuit? To me, it just screams, we do not care about this lawsuit. We do not care who was named and what was said. We think Brock is a valuable television commodity for us, and we're going to bring him back. And that's where they stand on things. And if you didn't get it, if you did not get that when Triple H is glad-handing with Donald Trump and they're showing that video on both nights of SummerSlam, maybe you got it by the end of the show when Brock Lesnar comes back. They are telling you where they stand. And if you don't want to stand with them, if you do not want to go with them, if you don't want to support them, I completely understand that. And if you want to continue to support because you like certain wrestlers and you want to still see what they do, I get that as well. I'm going to tell anybody how to be a fan, what to support, what not to support. But just know where they stand. Because they are telling you blatantly where they stand.
July 18th, 2022. I get a chance to represent WWE all over the world. Something I feel we need now more than ever, all over the world, is goodwill. And there's no question that each and every one of us do everything we can to put smiles on all your faces, both inside and outside of the ring, whether it's helping those less fortunate or supporting our servicemen and women all over the globe. We also support causes that help promote family, health, and community. All these things that help bring people together to do good. That's what we get a chance to do. Go all over the world and spread goodness or goodwill. That's why you'll never hear us talk about politics or religion or any other subject that's divisive. Because regardless of your race, your economic status, or your nationality, this is a place that we deserve to have a safe haven. This is a place that WWE wants to simply make sure that we all have a good time. Jeremy, do you remember who said those words on an episode of Raw back in July of 2022?
July 2022?
You've interviewed him. You've asked him about it.
Oh, was that Titus?
You bet that was Titus.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
That's why you'll never hear us talk about politics or any subject matter that's divisive. Meanwhile, the guy in charge right now is sitting on a Friday afternoon trying to get people healthy with the president. Don't spit in my face 3 years later and tell me that it's okay, because it's not. It's not okay. And I hope people remember that promo, because yeah, it was bizarre in 2022.
Yeah, it was.
And now you're going to look back at it now and you're going to say, Jesus Christ, it got worse. It got a lot worse. And to the one person who was like, I know you have Palestine flags in your profile. I ain't got one flag and I'm a Jew. Okay. So go ahead and feel however the frig you're going to feel about me. Said I'm going to cut back. But trust me, I'll tell you right now, do I lean more left wing? It doesn't even matter if I say I do, but I'll tell you this much. I lean in the direction of people who are implicated in lawsuits that involve sexual trafficking should not be brought back to work, even if their local legal clears them.
Right.
That's all it is. This isn't political. What I brought up was just to prove a point that they don't care, which I know others in the chat have said. There are a lot of questions that need to be answered, and they're not going to get the answer. Some people are going to tell the answer to the people who ask them backstage, the Seans, the Daves, the Mikes, the John Pollocks. Like, they're going to get those answers. That's one thing, that's for sure. But also, we got the problem that when it goes to a place like Fightful Select, when it goes on to wherever, you're going to get WWE being like, no, look at Unreal. We told you how it works. We gave you the look behind the curtain. This is us. Listen to us. We're the ones. We know what we're doing. But they don't. Because the guy who used to run the place put out a message a few months ago saying the lawsuit is over. It's over. And that was the SEC one. That was the one where his wrongdoing was money related. The one that's currently on the table, which I would argue is much worse in a lot of ways, that's the one that he wants you to forget about. And that's why we talk about it, because when someone who is named in the lawsuit, once again, I'll remind people, not a defendant, I understand it, but still a piece of that puzzle. When they're named and they're brought back, what are we doing? Why? What is the point?
It's just an unnecessary thing to do. Again, if you don't think he did anything wrong lawfully, and as of now, I don't think he has. I don't fully know, because laws are different everywhere. I don't know how much he knew. Obviously, he's likely going to deny everything and saying he didn't know anything. So, okay. But if you are as hot as you say you are, and you are doing this great business, and look, they're still doing really good business. I'm not even going to deny that. They claimed 60,000 last night. They claimed 111,000 for both nights, whatever it was. They're still doing great business. Then why open yourself up to doing this and take away from truthfully what was a fantastic main event? Cody and Cena had one of the best matches WWE wise of the year, and certainly made everybody forget about that WrestleMania trash that they put out there. It was a great main event last night. But now the talk is this, and then you're going to duck the press conference. You're going to say, oh, we want to bring it to the fans, as you have your back turned to the fans the entire time while you're speaking, and just giving these softball, as I don't even want to say it's softball questions, because it's a WWE produced post show. There aren't questions. The questions are, what did you think about this? What did you make of this? That's it. They're not softball questions. They're broadcast analyst questions by a company who produces everything. You're not going to face media questions about this stuff. That's a cowardly look, man.
Incredible.
This is the time you're going to do it. It already didn't look great on Saturday when they said this is the new format, and it's like, okay, but why? Because Vince got into an accident? Because maybe you got to ask questions about Hogan and promoting him? Maybe you got to maybe you gotta Trump. Maybe you're gonna have to answer questions about that. You answered questions about that in the interview with I'm sorry, I should get the outlet right. That interviewed Triple H and did ask about the allegations and did ask about Trump. Give me 1 second, I'll get that. But like you were asked questions about that stuff. You gave the answers you gave. You know, but you were worried about that. And then my Sunday was like, oh, okay, now we see it. The Sports Agents was the outlet, by the way. It's like, oh, now we see why. It just looks cowardly. It really does. And to the people who are like, you didn't do anything wrong, you didn't do anything wrong. Speaking about Brock, Hulk Hogan didn't technically do anything wrong. He didn't go to jail for anything. It still doesn't make what he said. It doesn't make him a good person, and it doesn't mean certain people gotta support him. Doesn't mean I gotta support him.
Y'all have heard my thoughts on Hogan. Go back
Yes,
and watch those episodes.
but the whole he didn't do anything wrong. He didn't do anything wrong. Okay, but that doesn't mean he's a good person for what he did do, and it doesn't mean certain fans have to support what he did do. If you want to continue to support him because he didn't do anything wrong, that's your choice as well. And yeah, I'm not going to tell anybody how to be a fan, who to be a fan of. We're telling you our perspective on it. And if you don't agree with our perspective, that's fine. Just be respectful about it. And I probably will not talk to you because I don't want to be associated with that he didn't do anything wrong. And look at what happened. There was a real victim here. All right, like can't get past. Oh, he didn't do anything wrong lawfully, when there's a real victim in this whole thing.
There's also, sorry, there's someone in the chat who's like, so you forgave Tessa.
No, the fuck we didn't.
No, the fuck we did not. We went in and we continue to go in on that because that was unacceptable as well. We've also given her ways that she could work with that, but instead, and I mean work as in work out the allegations and acknowledge them and talk about them. That's a whole other can of worms. But for that one person, you're dumb. You don't know who we are. The point is, it's incredibly tone deaf. It's incredibly ridiculous, and it's incredibly stupid that we are looking at the end of SummerSlam and saying, we're talking about this as the end of SummerSlam. After we could have been like, man, that was a great main event. That was a really fun show. But the reality of it is just, it's ridiculous. I got a super chat from Issa David saying, most WWE fans don't care. We can shine light, and fans can be upset about this all they want, but they will still watch and pay money, and this is what WWE cares about. But I am done with WWE. That is perfectly understandable, and it's perfectly honest as a review of what's going on here. There are people who are still going to pay through the nose for the WWE experience because it's exactly that. It's an experience for them. It's a trip for them. You know, Paul coming out and being like, we're doing 2 days of SummerSlam because it's like Disneyland. They want to make it the greatest place on earth. I understand what they're doing. But just like Disney has a lot of broken pieces inside of it, so does this company. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, shut down WWE, stop watching it forever. No, you do what you want. What we're here to do is to bring to light the absolute, again, tone deaf nature of bringing back someone who is named in an active ongoing lawsuit, who is willingly known about this and has willingly participated in allegedly what has been put forth. That's where we're at. So if you're done with WWE, I understand. Jeremy said it himself. There are other times where he's been done wanting to talk about wrestling. I have too. Last night was one of those nights, and I said, you know what? No, this is the job that I have, and this is the job that I do, and I'm going to use the platform that I have to bring forth the realities of certain topics. That's the way it is. I don't know if you have anything to add as I now catch up with the chat and deal with people. Once again, whataboutism? I'm timing you out. You be a dog shit person. I'm blocking you from this chat entirely.
Tessa, of all people to bring up as an example on us, this show.
That's the guy who covers TNA. You dumb. By the way, I don't know if there are any other mods in the chat. I know Drew's here. By the way, shout out to Drew. If you're getting people, thank you. Otherwise, I'm also having a comment on this.
This show. What are we doing? What are we doing? Like, yeah. If you don't want to, if you don't want to be a WWE fan anymore, completely understand. But yeah, the WWE fans are still gonna cheer. He got a big pop last night. Like, he's gonna get a big pop. I don't know how many of them care, moved on, whatever it might be. Not sure. But most of them probably don't. Most of them just hear the music, see Brock. It's like, oh, we're fans. Okay. That's their right to... It's their right to cheer. Their right to support. I'm not going to. I'm gonna cover it because it's my job, but I'm not gonna cheer for this stuff.
I'm still catching up. This is ridiculous. I think I got it. I got it.
Are you just banning everybody?
More or less. If I like you. No, I'm just kidding. It's not even about whether I like you. It's whether or not you understand the difference between right and wrong in this case, and what allegations and a lawsuit mean.
Okay, I don't.
And again, I'm what do you call it? I'm timing up the whataboutism.
Okay, I don't want to ban everybody because...
No, I'm not banning everyone. I'm banning the people who want to be absolute dog shit about what's going on here. Okay. I'm using tact. Don't you worry.
All right.
Listen, if you think that someone that's getting banned doesn't deserve it, let me know.
Yeah, but our chat's mean to everyone.
So. No. If you want to keep it real for a minute, because I do listen. I understand from our business. We also don't want to make it feel like we're not letting people who disagree with us have a say. I believe that people who want, again, I've talked about it at the top of the show and I'll repeat it again. If you are someone who is excited to see Brock Lesnar back on your TV and you say as much, that's fine. If you start with, oh, he was named in a lawsuit, he did nothing wrong, the best thing, all he did was maybe cheat on his wife, that I don't have time for that shit. That's where you can go and read the lawsuit and educate yourself and understand why this is wrong. That's where I'm at.
All right.
Again, I'll take the pushback from chat. Like, I'm not here to be big man. I'm here to, yeah. I'm here to do the dual job.
I think he did nothing wrong people probably need to educate themselves a little bit, but maybe they have read the lawsuit. Maybe they still feel he did nothing wrong about things. Again, lawfully, did he? Up for questioning, and hopefully we get to that point in this trial and it becomes questioned of what he did and didn't know. I don't want to ban everybody.
We're not going to ban everybody.
I want to be a little fair.
We are. All
right. Like, especially because we're on main. If it was our channel, I would care about far less, truthfully. I would care far less.
Because we're pulling back curtain. In my defense, last night, worst. People were much worse, and I wasn't even the one doing the banning. That was Luis and Sean. So I'm really catching up, damn it.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we should ban Jewel.
Well, that's true.
All right. I trust you guys with what's happening, but I want to be a little fair to everyone. Maybe that makes me wrong.
That's fair. I also go by the Sean, if you're not going to take the time to be educated, then we don't want your money. That's all.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's fair. Again, if it was our channel, I'd probably be right there with you. But main channel, I don't wanna step on anything when it's not our channel.
There's someone in the chat saying, the IWC is smaller. Okay, let's once again, the internet wrestling community is once again much bigger than you think it is. The bubble is big because guess what the internet has? Everyone's on the internet. You see this thing in your hand that you're probably watching us on? It's connected to a certain thing called the internet. People are online. People can see this stuff. Whether or not they choose to listen to it, pay attention to it, is a completely different conversation. Are there a lot of people who don't know and don't care to know? Absolutely. That's fine. That's their prerogative. Once again, we're here under our programming, under our media sphere, to draw attention, to shine lights, to explain why this is happening. That's it.
Yeah.
Someone in the chat respectfully saying, I like Brock. I'm excited for Brock. Great. Go. Enjoy it. I hope you find some entertainment out of this. But there's still a reality to it. And I hope that's known. And I hope that people understand that there's no nowhere else to put it. He is implicated in a lawsuit. And he was a potentially willing participant in something that was pretty disgusting. So there it is.
Yeah, he is implicated. We do know that much. He's implicated. He's outright named.
He
in
is.
The lawsuit. He's outright named. If you read the lawsuit, you can see what is said about him, and you can make your own judgment on how you feel about that. I know how I feel. I understand. I don't understand, but I understand that people feel differently. I don't understand how they feel differently because that's not my mindset. But I understand that people do feel differently about these things. Some people can separate, I like Brock Lesnar, the wrestler, and they don't care about Brock Lesnar, the person. Okay. And people are going to feel how they feel. I'm not going to tell anybody how to feel about this. Just telling you my perspective from it and why I have a hard time supporting a Brock Lesnar return and the company as a whole after it. Because you know what he's implicated in. You don't have to do this. You do this, and then you open yourselves up to these conversations, and then you duck these conversations, and then you go on your post show and say, we talked to John Cena about stuff, and this is what he said about this. And so here's what I was going to mention earlier. John Cena and Triple H are on two different pages with this. Triple H is saying, oh yeah, I talked to John. What do you want to do? Who do you want to face? And now we're working through that. All right. Maybe that's true. Cena's stance publicly has always been, I'm not pitching anything. I show up, the writers tell me what they want, and that's what I do. That's been Cena's stance publicly. That's been backed, by the way, by Randy Orton and CM Punk, because Orton mentioned, I went to John and I was like, oh, let's work together. And John told me, if that's what they think is the best idea, then that's what we'll do. We'll work together. I'm not saying John Cena is above lying and working. I'm not saying Randy Orton is above lying and working. Not saying that at all. They're pro wrestlers. That's what they do. I'm just saying they are on two different pages because Cena has taken one stance publicly and Triple H is trying to say, oh, I talked to John to see what he wants, and that's what they've gone. You look at who Cena's worked with. I believe on one hand, yeah, Cena probably wanted to work with all those guys, and maybe he pitched to work with all those guys. I believe on the other hand, Triple H didn't have a whole lot of ton of good ideas and decided, let's just do a John Cena nostalgia tour for his final year. So let's give him Orton, let's give him a CM Punk, let's give him R-Truth, and let's give him Cody a bunch of times. And now let's give him Brock. I can see both sides of that, honestly. So I don't know who is correct here. I'm laying out the public information, the public comments that we know. One thing I do know is even if Cena said, this is who I want to work with, Triple H, who runs everything, right, could have said, hey, John, maybe that's a bad idea, and here's why. But he didn't say that. Instead, he said, okay, we'll make that happen for you, John. And I do know that Triple H was the one who did this whole heel turn. And John Cena did not turn it down. When maybe he could have. But Triple H put that together. He'll let you know he put that together. He'll let you know he called John Cena last when he put that together.
The board. the big board will be up. Yeah. It'll show you everything.
So those are things that I do know. Is that Triple H put together the heel run. That was not a John Cena call. John Cena had said, I'm not pitching anything. That has been backed by other wrestlers. And Triple H said, well, I went to John and said this. All right. Again, two different pages of what they are saying publicly. Two different pages, and one guy still makes decisions. And he made the decision to bring him back. That's where we're at with things. Daniel Cormier's comment was weird because I don't think he knew Brock was on any type of ban. I felt like Daniel Cormier was just, and he never said TKO, by the way. He just said Brock is on a banned list. He didn't say like a TKO banned list. He didn't say WWE. He didn't say UFC. He just said Brock is on a banned list.
Could have been a testing banned list.
It felt like Cormier was just like, it was a podcast with Demetrius Johnson, a former fighter, really great fighter. And they were just kind of like, Demetrius Johnson clearly had no clue what was going on. Because he mentioned the Cormier and Brock scuffle after UFC 200 something. And he's like, oh, so that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen in UFC. And Cormier's like, oh, what about WWE? And Cormier's like, oh, no, like he's on a ban. He did some bad stuff. He's like, he did some really bad stuff. And Cormier's like, Demetrius Johnson's like, huh, what? And Demetrius Johnson's producer is like, yeah. And even Cormier is like, yeah, the producer tried to set me up to say what he was saying, to say what Brock did. He's like, I ain't saying what Brock did. Go check that out for yourself. But I think Cormier was just kind of like, it was a very laid back environment, and Cormier's just like, yeah, he's on a banned list because Brock hadn't been around. So he just assumed like, yeah, he ain't coming back anytime soon. I don't think Cormier knew anything. I don't think Cormier cared to be truthful in that. I think Cormier was just bullshitting with a friend on a podcast. That's what that was. I don't think he knew Brock was coming back, or I don't think there is a banned list that he was on. Clearly, if he was, he's off now.
Well, unless it's USADA.
I mean, he's not on like a ban list. You just gotta get tested.
You just gotta get tested. It's true. Oh my gosh. A couple of super chats. Ryan Lambert saying, I'm happy for alternative companies to watch. And that's it, man. There's plenty of different wrestling to watch. If something doesn't entertain you, I bet you'll find something else that does. We are in a unique position that we cover all this stuff. We talk about it because we cover all of it, and we take different approaches to our coverage. We're not necessarily watching for the pure enjoyment of it. There's much more to our conversations when it comes to professional wrestling. But for you, hey man, go and enjoy it. Do it as you will and watch whatever you find happy and good to go. Tinner is also saying some wrestling media are in shambles. I'm not going to read the rest of it, but again, just what really annoyed me more than anything else was the way that the pressers were handled. In this case, mishandled.
They weren't handled.
They weren't handled. I think honestly, not even the fact that they got rid of them. They've been wanting to get rid of them forever. I tweeted about it in 2023 when I went to Montreal for Elimination Chamber. Production guys were just like, I'm so glad that this is our last one. You know, we're doing Mania and then that's it. This is 2023. Okay, so we're talking 2 years ago. Then they brought them back over the course of time for whatever reasons. They kept them going. And it became a place where a lot of our media friends would go to not only amass content, but also be a part of the weekend in one way, shape, or form. Now they're getting rid of them. That's been expected for a while, like I said. But what really annoyed me was the fact that all of these guys and girls and friends went to this event with the expectation to be going to a presser after the show. And then during the show, in the venue, on night one, they didn't get an email, they didn't get anything, and they had to go and ask what's going on to get the answer, oh no, we're not doing one. There's money that goes into this. There's lost money that goes into this. And I get it that you need to find a way to make back your money and recoup your loss, whatever it is, but also the opportunity to ask a question that's important. That's a whole other part of this. So I feel bad for my friends who go in and expect, you know, and not expect, but are hoping for an opportunity to go and participate in these pressers. And for them to pull off the way they did, where they tell you at the venue of the night of, those people could have gone home after media day. And some of them did. You know, Sean's plan originally was to go in for media day and come home. Denise went in for media day and then she went home. Some people were there because they wanted to be at the show in person and then do the pressers. And I think it's really frustrating to just suddenly say, without communicating it, we're not doing these anymore. I don't care for the pressers in the first place. I'm more coming at the people who use these pressers as an opportunity to be involved and engaged in the show. They've been taking it away. That's it.
I think most people know. I mean, maybe they don't because we are, you know, main channel and everything today. I think the press conferences suck. I think they're stupid. I've never liked them from WWE or AEW because they just create a ton of work for me, and I don't like that. I don't like working. I'm very good at what I do, but I don't like doing it all the time, especially late wee hours of the morning and everything. But I think they're dumb and stupid because for every one good question, you get the generic, tell me about this booking idea. Tell me how great it is to be in this city. And then Triple H and Tony both give way too long of answers. And the people in the media room, when it comes to the wrestlers, you don't know if you're getting kayfabe. You don't know if you're getting the real wrestler. You just have no idea. And it makes it difficult. So some people, you got people who, Malcolm, we love Malcolm. He asked about Waffle House, and that's cool for his content. And then other people try to ask a real question, but then they just get buried by it because, oh, why are you asking so-and-so about this when it has nothing to do with them? It's a lose-lose situation for a lot of entities, including the companies. Like, I don't think too much has really come out of these press conferences that made anybody look good. Even when real good questions have been asked. I don't think the companies haven't given great answers. It's been great answers if you want to see where they stand, and it's like, oh, they did not handle that well. But I'm talking about from an inside the company perspective. It's like, yeah, that was a bad answer. Shouldn't have done that one. And then you got the people who's like, why are they asking this? Why are they asking this? Why aren't they asking this? It's because it's not quote-unquote journalists in the room. Some of them are just content creators who are there to just have fun and get their reactions and not ask these real questions. You get Sup Legend And now that's what the entire post show is. It's Sup Legend come to life because Triple H comes out there and Rosenberg's doing the water spit and Joe Tessitore is telling him he's the architect of it all. He's so great that none of this is possible without him. And it's like, it's a literally Sup Legend come to life. So I don't mind that they did away with the press conferences. I really don't. But to do it on this weekend with this, again, you just want to talk about bad optics and unnecessary looks. It's like, man, this is when you decide to do it? Doesn't look great.
They're just playing the face. They're like, ah, we were going to do it anyway, so now we're just going to do it.
Just doesn't look great when you decide to do it this weekend with everything that happened in the week leading up and then everything that happened at the end of the show. This is when you decide to do it. All right, that's a choice. Like you couldn't have just faced it one last time and been like, all right, this is the last one, but I'm at least gonna face the music here, and then we're just done with. No, you did it this weekend. Your optics just aren't good. They're just not.
Someone in the chat asking for you guys, does WWE getting rid of the press conferences make going to these shows pointless? I get the media during the week, but if you don't have a reason to stay, why go at all? So it's twofold. So you can, Sean explained this in a certain way as well. Lately, they've been putting people in the press box, and the press box is way up at the top of the arena or the stadium. You don't necessarily have a good view of the ring. You're just kind of there. You might get some food. You might have a space to plug in your computer and use the Wi-Fi that everyone else is using, and therefore it's not very good unless you're like T-Mobile Arena where they have like their own media Wi-Fi. Regardless, some people use it as an opportunity to catch some content by doing faraway live reacts. Okay, that's one way. For someone like me, I probably wouldn't be staying at this point. I would probably go in for media day and go right home because why bother? I can go watch the show at home and watch it the way it's supposed to be filmed on TV and maybe catch one or two production errors here or there because that's what I like to do. But again, it all depends on the content you are making. For those who are sitting in the box and making like reaction content with their friends, then they're going to do that. And they all want to be personalities on their channels getting that content in while they're at this big happening of an event. It's all about what you cover and what you care about when it comes to your wrestling. For me, I'd probably just turn around, go home, and just go be with my family, and that's it.
Yeah, I haven't gone to a WWE event, covered it as media or anything. I would feel the same way of, all right, let's do what we can at media day. And then you watch the event from the press box, but if you've seen the photos, you're way up here. You're in the rafters with Sting.
Yeah, you thought Sting was far away? We're further. Sting's actually below us.
Oh, it doesn't seem like the greatest way to like watch an event. I'd rather just buy a ticket and watch it from the stands. And then if there's no press conference, it's like, all right, yeah, why am I gonna do that? I'd rather just watch it at home, or again, just watch it in the stands and not have to worry about being in the press box way up there. I guess you get free food. That's cool. So maybe that. It's just, it doesn't seem very fruitful to go to these events anymore outside of the one day media thing. And then that still adds up. And like, okay, you get 30-second conversations with whoever they give you. And there's some good talent there. But, they ain't putting Cody, Roman. They ain't putting like top level talent on these media things. They're putting good talent. You get access to good talent. But they're so quick. Not like you're asking. You want to have a fun little engaging conversation with them. Probably not asking hard-hitting questions to them anyway.
Yeah, I don't personally mind that the pressers are gone. It was more the timing in which they decided to take them away. That's it. Where are we? Main event?
So, no, hold on.
Go ahead.
Another one. The new format is so hilarious.
Oh, yes.
Because one, again, not only do they you get to talk directly to the people as you have your back turned to the people. The wrestlers are totally in character. Bless Cody. Cody tries. Cody tries to like give a real answer and everything, but he's only there for like 2 minutes. So it's basically just like, how you feeling? But it's hilarious when Triple H comes out there and he's doing this weird thing of, I booked all this. I'm the greatest ever. Please praise me for how great I am for putting this all together. But then he also tries to be like, Seth Rollins lied on his medical report. Oh, when Brock returned, like, man, what a shocking moment that was. Who could have saw that coming? Which one is it? Did you book all of this? Or are you trying to protect what happened? It's like he wants the praise of like, please tell me how great I am. And Joe Tessitore's like, none of this is possible without him. The architect of it all. Thank God for Triple H. Bow down to the king. But then he's also just trying to be like, oh, what a great shocking moment this was. Man, I can't believe that happened. And that's why you're a WWE fan, because of moments like that. You just never know. It's like, you got to pick a lane, buddy. But he doesn't want to do those post shows. He's forced to, just like he was forced to come out there at the start of the show last night. He doesn't want to do any of that. That's hilarious. A hilarious man. Hilarious man. Not maybe not in a good way, but a hilarious man.
What's next? Let's talk about the show itself. Wrestling happened. Naomi's dad was there. Played a great guitar.
I ruled. That match was great.
Shout out to Derek Mack. That was hey man, great guitar player. He does what I used to do. Goes out and plays the hits and gets a lot of gigs out of that. Good money. Yeah. Trust me. It's fun stuff. But yeah, great match. The triple threat was fun. It ended pretty much how we expected it. Rhea finally had the opportunity to get the pin on Io, the woman she couldn't beat. And when it happened, she gets rolled up and tossed aside, and Naomi retains her World Women's Championship. It was a fun match, great match, which we expected because those three are great. Again, Paul being like, she's most improved. I'm like, do you know why she's most improved? Because she walked out, went to TNA, and got her confidence back. And like, it took her an extra few months in WWE coming back, maybe a year. God, when did she come back? 24, 25? Came back in 24. And she came back, 24. And it took a whole lot of stuff to get her back on track in the WWE sphere.
But see, most improved is once again him patting himself on the back.
Yes, it is.
Has Naomi improved, like, in ring wise? Yeah, over the years. Hopefully everyone improves. But she's really improved because now she's a champion, and now she is playing this character that she's doing great with. But who booked it? Who booked that heel turn? Who booked her to be the champion?
Rikishi. Big Quiche did it. She did it for The Rock.
Honestly, yeah. It's just another, let me pat myself on the back. Oh, she's the most improved because look what all she's accomplished over the last year. It's like, because I booked all of this improvement. He's not talking about like her ring work being improved because, yeah, it's improved, but she was this good last year. She just didn't get these opportunities. Now she does. It's so dumb.
Well, she's still the women's world champion, so I guess we're just gonna live with that part.
Yeah.
And again, it was a good match. It was a fun match, and the ending was great. Also on the card, Becky and Lyra. A lot of people felt. Yeah. What did you think about this?
I thought they worked hard, and they tried, and they had some ideas, but they had to follow that TLC match, and trying to follow that TLC match with, and they couldn't do but so much because there was a street fight later on in the show. So you've gotta, and I assume the producers talk to each other, and the stuff on the street fight's going to take precedent over this no DQ women's intercontinental title match. So you got to follow this absolute train wreck in the best way of a match. And then you gotta hold back because you can't overstep the street fight. So they had some ideas. I like there was a layout, there was a structure. I don't necessarily think it was bad, but the crowd was burnt after that TLC match. This should have been flipped with something on night one. You had all these random tag matches on night one. You should have done maybe the women's tag match. You should have flipped those two. Or Sammy and Cross, because Sammy and Cross was always going to be looked at as a cool down match. I would have flipped those two matches. I would have put Sammy and Cross here, 8 minutes, go out there, do what you need to do, and put Becky and Lyra on night one, because it would have been different than anything on night one.
Yeah, I largely agree with you. It was they were a victim of they're a victim of the spot they were in. There were moments in this match that I thought were hilarious and also just like cringe inducing, not in the like, oh, it's so cringe, like the way people say it now. No, the part where Becky has her face down on the table and she almost doesn't see that Lyra is at the top rope and comes down right on top of her head with that leg drop. The way it was shot, because it was shot so tight on Becky's face, it's almost like she had no idea that was coming. And I thought that part was just ridiculous. But yeah, the match itself was, like you said, they got stuck with it. But in terms of where they were on the card, they brought out Bailey, who was expected to be a part of the match anyway. Did not turn her. They did the mistaken chain spot where she accidentally punches Lyra, and that leads toward the finish. But I think tonight is when you'll see something with Bailey officially turning. I think they wanted to save one last thing for Monday Night Raw, and that'll be tonight. That'll be the Bailey beat. But otherwise, Becky gets a new theme. Wonder Years, we had reported on Fightful Select it was coming, and it is, and it's there. And she had also put it out that she had teased it was coming. I thought it was a really good new theme, and Becky and Lyra had a good match, just like you said, stuck in the placement.
Yeah, it was the stipulation. If that's what you're gonna do, fine. It's weird because their wrestling has been the best portion, and now they didn't allow them to do, or at least the stipulation kind of took away from just their wrestling. They had to have a no DQ match. Again, they had an idea of what they wanted to do. It was just poor placement. It should have been flipped with something on night one. I don't think you could flip it anywhere else on the card, because you're either doing it after the TLC match. It wasn't going to be the opener. The opener was the right call. I guess technically you could have flipped it with Dom and AJ, but then you're doing a no DQ match before a street fight. It's still the same issue. Like, you get a little bit more heat with it because you're not following the TLC match, but you're still having the issue of, but you're before the street fight and you can't have but so much stuff because there's a street fight coming between the two biggest stars in the company. So you got to hold back a little. It should have just been on night one. They should have flipped it with Cross and Zayn. That's it. It had nothing to do with the placement on this night. It does a little bit, but it was more just it was on the wrong night.
Yeah, exactly. TLC, let's talk about that for a minute. Bunch of people just car crashing it up. You know what? Shout out to everyone involved. That was a hell of a way to go. And Candice LeRae taking the bump of the match, going through the ladders. I love that Johnny Gargano had the tweet out, "No, I did not sleep on the couch." But it was a really fun match. No shock to me, at least, that the Wyatt Six retain. A little strange that they had to use Uncle Howdy to get the title belts in the end. But like Joe Gacy got the belts, yeah. But Howdy was very heavily involved. And the same way that Candice LeRae was involved, the same way that B-Fab was involved. It's just a big old schmoz. But it was a fun TLC match that just... There was no reason that it wouldn't be, but man, that was a lot of bodies.
Yeah. But they did some great side. The Ciampa dangling and then lifting himself up to avoid, that takes so much strength. Like,
you're working towards that. You're planking. That's all it is, man. You're working on that plank so that you can go and do what Ciampa did.
That was that was impressive. That was really impressive. There was a lot of cool stuff in this match, like the Spanish fly to the outside, and obviously the what Montez, we hit the leg drop, like just so much really cool stuff in this match. A lot of innovative spots, and or if they weren't innovative, just cool looking spots. And Candice, like people know that Candice is gonna do this stuff. I'm pretty sure we said it on the show. Candice is gonna do some dumb shit in this match. She's gonna be excited to do some dumb shit. She did the dumbest thing possible, but it absolutely ruled. Bless Candice. Push Candice LeRae. Shoot her, Candice. Bring her back.
Bring her back.
Yeah.
This should be, you know what? She should have been like knocked out, quote unquote, in this match. When she comes to, she shoot her Candice.
Yeah.
Everything is just let me at him. I'm gonna beat the shit out of this person. That's the way it should go.
It's a fantastic match. So Wyatt Six winning, not too big of a surprise. The crowd booing as they got the titles, but then popping like when they won. Like, I don't think they wanted the Wyatt Six to win after all that. I also think they wanted the match to continue. So
I think the applause at the end was like giving the participants in the match their flowers, because they worked hard. They went out there and had a very, very excellent showing. That, again, a lot of fun, a good match. The spots were, I'm not going to say tastefully picked because it's a bunch of people going off of ladders and crashing through tables, but they did what a TLC match does. And of course, the Dudleys were there, the Hardys were there. They put over the Bound for Glory match, to which I said, please don't put this over. Why couldn't the Hardys bring their TNA titles with them?
And Bully Ray should have had his House of Glory.
That's right. He's out here beating Zilla Fatu thanks to Ricochet. My God.
Where was the third team? What happened to them?
Yeah, what are they up to? Has anyone talked to them in a while?
Oh, one guy's trying to find himself. So.
Yeah, I think one guy's on excursion. I think that's what it was. Something like that. Yeah, the other guy can't talk. He can't hurt anybody. There you go. Yeah. What else are we at? The U.S. title cage match was what I expected. Can't tell you it was fine.
They were just getting to the Jacob Fatu moonsault spot. This match wasn't good. It was not fine. It wasn't good.
It was, like you said, going to the cage spot, jumping off the cage, and oh man, Tama Tonga getting absolutely wrecked on the way down.
Oh yeah, he
hit hard.
That looked like it sucked.
Yeah. Because Tala went the other way. he went the opposite direction on his fall, but it looked like Tama took the brunt of that.
Yeah, JC Mateo was like, let me step to the left here. Oh, yeah, that looked like it sucked.
But like I said on Friday, Solo winning felt like the play because you want to build Jacob Fatu upward from here. Like, he can take the loss. You can rebuild him. He doesn't have to go after the U.S. Championship. You can even build him towards a match if you want to turn him eventually to go up against Cody Rhodes. I do not like the idea of Solo. Had Solo lost, he probably would have been going after Cody again, and you would have been just being like, "Come on, man, we gotta find new places for Cody Rhodes, new people for Cody Rhodes to face."
Yeah, Jacob's gotta move on from all of this stuff.
Hopefully there's something in there. You can move them across to another brand too. That's the other thing, is like, maybe it's time to start making some trades. I know people have talked about a draft, but
they don't.
Not even trade. Just you know what? You can disguise it as trades. You can call it a shake up. I don't care. Move people around, and just start doing some fresh matchups, because we're good. We can move on from these.
Yeah.
That's all. Dominic Mysterio and AJ Styles. This the AJ coming out in the lowrider, wearing the Eddie pants, with his son doing the Dominic hair from 2005.
I was about to say, I thought it was like they just blew up Dominic from 2005.
It's perfect. I like the idea of AJ being like, "You look a lot like a guy I work with, but like the kid version of him. Come with me. I got an idea." He's like, "What are we doing, Dad?" No, don't worry. It's just peroxide. We're gonna dye your hair blonde. And then that was it. And then the son had to come with him. Paid him $100, got him a Switch 2, and said, "Let's go." Can't get a PSP anymore. Those don't exist.
Yeah. Bless AJ, man. he's too southern to try those Eddie shimmy shoulder shimmies.
Yeah.
There was no flavor on those things. I'm not gonna do it because I'd look the same way AJ did, but he had no flavor on those shoulder shimmies. He was trying though. He was
Just
trying.
mayo. It was the flavor was
Yeah.
mayo.
Yeah. It was a fine match. This was a fine match. Like, not a whole lot of time. They did the callback to Eddie and Angle with the shoe coming off, and that was a cool little spot. But yeah, this match was. I would have taken some time off of the cage match and given it to this match, and maybe they could have done a little bit better. But AJ is who he is in 2025. He's one of the greats, but he's also damn near 50 now, and he ain't doing the stuff he used to do. So, but it was fine.
Sorry, this is if you have a PSP, run to it, remove the battery. If it's an OG battery, it's puffy and needs replacing. We call them spicy pillows in my world. I've got this laptop battery that's bulging. Y'all can see that.
Oh boy.
I got to go get rid of that, but I don't know why I replaced it because I don't use that computer anymore. Anyway, just I saw that and I was reading it like, why are you giving me tech tips? But also shout out to you, Ender Buckley, for giving me tech tips on our channel. And then we talked about Cena and Rhodes. This was a great match. This was what it should have been at WrestleMania had we not done this.
That match was bad on purpose.
Yes, that's right. It was bad on purpose. It was there to ruin wrestling. So this was really good stuff. Was it perfect? No, but was it everything it should have been as a walk and brawl street fight style match? Yes. The story of the new hero, the new white meat babyface having to take old Yeller behind the barn all the way to the end. I really like that story. It's very simple. It's very easy. The hokiness of using the Cody Vader.
That ruled. That spot ruled.
That was John being like, I got to do something for my next reel, so just bear with me. And then they did it. Comes up the stupid Cody Vader and then gets tossed off the double A, the AA. The match was much better than the first. That's a low bar, but it ends with Cody regaining the WWE World Heavyweight Championship, the undisputed championship, I guess. And John Cena goes on to greener pastures. He's done. That's it. He's retired. No more John Cena. We're never going to see him again.
He's on SmackDown this week.
Cody is. That's right.
No.
Cody is. Cody is.
You can't see Cena.
That's right.
Yeah.
Except for that one person who took a video of Dominic's entrance. Did you see this on socials?
Yeah.
That was very funny. And John Cena's just down there in the curtain just watching. That was great.
That was a fantastic match, though. Like one of my favorite WWE matches of the year. It was great. So good on John Cena. Still got it. Cody's Cody. He's fine.
What do you do with Cody next?
Solo Sikoa.
Stop it. Stop it. I figure it's going to be Drew.
Drew makes a whole lot of sense. Yeah. Drew makes sense. Poor Drew just got to lose another title match.
That's fine. It works with CM Punk.
Yeah.
Talk about him in a couple minutes. But with Drew, that was the one thing with, Fightful Selected reported that originally the plan was for Randy and Jelly Roll to win that match, and that turned around. This was night one. I guess we can transition unless you're ready to, unless you still got more about the Cena stuff. Drew and Logan Paul win the match. They're not brothers. It's Drew McIntyre and Logan Paul. They win the match. They beat Randy Orton and Jelly Roll, and I thought Jelly Roll was perfectly serviceable. I thought he, while he was gassed, he still did the moves he was supposed to do, and he didn't look like he was defeated until he was literally defeated. But the match itself was potentially in service of giving both Logan Paul and Drew McIntyre opportunities at championships, which makes sense if you're talking about the long-term plan for both men. You don't need to do the celebrity does a match and gets the victory. I don't think Jelly Roll really cared. I think if anything, it felt like Jelly Roll was like, I'm here to do whatever and be the best, respectful worker I can. And it sounds like he did just that, which is great, if that's the case.
I like that Jelly Roll and Randy lost because too often it is celebrity comes in, gets the victory. Ah, that's fun. And it's always a weird thing of like you understand why they do it, but you're also just being like, yeah, this dude who trained for 3 weeks is better than the full-time wrestlers. And it's always just a weird thing when they do that. So actually having the full-time wrestlers, Logan's not like full-time, but he's been training for a while. Actually having them win the match, it's like, oh, yeah, you can't just come in with 3 weeks of training and win these matches. Oh, I like that they lost this match. I like that Jelly Roll took the pin. What does Jelly Roll lose? No one's like... He may or may not be back on television, but you're not burying Jelly Roll. Maybe people won't show up to his concert like, nah, this dork lost a wrestling match. I ain't coming out to this concert.
Could you imagine?
Jelly Roll. Why that song sucked that he used.
The Who's Your Daddy?
Is that the song?
Yeah, isn't Who's Your Daddy? Isn't that by oh my god.
I thought it was one of his songs.
No, I don't think it is. I think he's using a song by oh my god. Come on, man. Is it Keith Urban?
George Strait? I don't know. Why are you asking me?
I don't know.
I thought it was one of his.
I'm pretty sure it's Who's Your Daddy by yeah. But he's covered it. Toby Keith, thank you. Toby Keith. Yeah. Yeah, it's Who's Your Daddy, because of course it is. He covered that song. Like Jelly Roll did it in like an all-star tribute to Toby
Man,
Keith. TNA legend Toby Keith, by the way.
I heard that and I was like, this song just sucks. Where's Liar? That song, like, I got sick of it last year. But at least that's like a good like theme. It's a good song. This country song just sucked.
I mean, it's got the drop at the beginning. That's what gets people into it.
I didn't hear it do any type of drop. I needed Liar. I was waiting for Liar, you know?
It's a drop in. It's like
you ain't nothing but a liar. I can't sing it as well as SP3 does.
Oh, sure. I was gonna say as well as Jelly Roll might do it, but sure.
I don't care about Jelly Roll. Nah, he to bless him, he was on that table and he was tensing up. He's like, all right, here we go. Let's get this frog splash going. I don't blame him. That looked like it sucked. So I don't blame him for being that tense on it. But he did what he needed to do. It was a little rough early. He missed some strikes and everything. But he did a good job turning it back around. And they structured it well with him being taken out but then coming back and everything. So it was good.
Yeah, Jelly Roll retired it after SP3 tried singing it. I get it. Zeno Hour's got it on the nose. XP1 champion Zeno Hour, by the way.
Yeah, we're probably gonna play that tomorrow.
Yeah, let's do that tomorrow.
Yeah. We do have, by the way, Zeno Hour. We do have the cameo from Brian Alvarez. He sent it back very quickly. We're gonna play that on tomorrow's show. That's a for our channel moment because that's where you want it on our channel. So.
Fightful Overbooked. That's where you want to go. YouTube.com/Fightful Overbooked, where we are live Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. Jeremy's 5 days a week. I'm there Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. SP3's Tuesdays and Thursdays. Because damn it, sometimes the boy needs a break. Sometimes the boy needs a break.
Running from the grind.
Well, that's how it goes sometimes. Roman Reigns is trying to be a good guy. Roman Reigns is stepping in front. He's taking the bullet for his cousin. He's showing some growth. He's going to be a man of repentance. It's going to happen. He's going to come out. He's going to be wearing the full garb. He's going to be like, Jey Uso, you are the new tribal chief. That's going to be the last time we see Roman Reigns. Not now, but when he does that, they beat Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. Poor Roman Reigns couldn't get all of his shit in during the daylight. Couldn't see his pyro in that daylight.
They hit his pyro early.
Of course they did. They had to keep on task. Damn it.
One, I hope Braun Breaker's okay because he was wrapped up at the end of the night, and there's that video of him kind of gingerly walking.
Also did the signing the next day sitting on a chair. So there's a belief that he'll be okay, but won't know until he's checked out fully.
Roman Reigns rules. What a guy. What a performer Roman Reigns is. Like, the aura thing is very overused. But you feel it when he's on the screen, man. He's just such a good performer. His selling was so good in this match. The interactions with Jay, run it back. Right. Okay, let's run it back. Like
I won't yeet, but I'll do the thing.
he did the dive to the outside, broke that out. Not only broke out the dive, but overshot the hell out of it and still saved himself by flipping into it. Man, he doesn't wrestle often, and that sucks. But when he wants to like really turn it on, because some of the matches during that title reign, he was just like, all right, I'm good. I'll go through the motions out there. But when he wants to turn it on and really, really make somebody, he does it. He does it every single time. He doesn't need to go over the top with everything. It's all little stuff that all the old timers talk about. Like, just do the little things. Just do, keep it simple, stupid. And that's what Roman does. He's so good. So good.
He told you after WrestleMania 39 that this is all in service of raising his family, literally and also in wrestling. And he's doing a little bit of that with Jay. It's been Jay the whole way, but the match itself, was really there in service of putting over the other two guys too. He does work with Bronson and with Braun, and it looked good. So again, Roman Reigns continues to just show up and do things, and I think he's at a point in his career where we're all just going to let it happen as long as he's not going for a title. It's as long as there's something involved with a story or a reason, let it go. That's fine. Roman's had his moments. He's ready to move on, do whatever's next. Hollywood, if you will. But if he's doing this, coming back and trying to get his family over in the process, sure, I'll watch it. And he did it. I think he did a good job with, again, when he came back, he did nothing to show you he was a good guy, but people were cheering for him. To show some sort of character development, some sort of remorse, some sort of movement, some sort of anything to show that you are helping your family. That's what this was. He was helping his family. It doesn't absolve him of everything, but it certainly goes further in the story of Roman Reigns' redemption. I don't think it needs to end in a title reign, but I think it should. It could. It very well could, but I'd rather it end with him when he's ready, bowing out and saying, this is the next guy. And then Jacob Fatu just squashes him, takes that Ulafala, and that's it. And then the 2036 Raw debut on your Meta glasses, you get to see Roman Reigns versus Jacob Fatu.
Roman should beat Cody and take that title back.
He would. It's fine.
We need Roman back on top.
Stop it. So someone in the chat saying they booed him when he was a good guy. Yeah, because his creative was shite. He was being shoved down your throats and they didn't know how to book him. Then they gave him what everyone was waiting for him to have, and they respected him. And that's when they started to give him those flowers. And now he's doing, honestly, the most authentic version of his character that we've seen. And as a result, I think fans are seeing that and saying, okay, this is what we should be enjoying, because it feels effortless. It feels like it's what he wants to and would be. And again, that's from a character standpoint. It feels like he's just that guy. He's not forced, which I appreciate it.
Yeah. Look, he should win the title.
Let's go. Yeah. Do it in Australia. I mean, right now we're looking at Cody versus Seth Rollins in Perth, Crown Jewel.
Oh yeah, they do that dumb.
They are doing that match. The title versus title is happening in Perth this year. So as of right now, you're looking at Seth Rollins versus Cody Rhodes, which at least you're doing. Well, no, you did Cody Rhodes last year versus Gunther. So Cody's just going to keep that title forever. That big 300-pound title in the ring.
I think that's a dumb match.
It is, but
sure.
It's what Paul's got. Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss are the new tag team champions. Where's Alexa Bliss Gamer? I know you're here. I know are you still hungover from last night or from Saturday nights? Are you still celebrating in the streets? Pops up right when I said it.
Alexa Bliss Gamer just has the best bit. You can always count on them to pop up right when they need to pop up. One of the best people in the chat.
Amazing. It's not title for title. It is the Crown Jewel Championship.
Yeah, they did it last year. They're doing it again this year.
The two champions face off for that one title belt, which is that big, gaudy title that they did last year.
Yeah.
So yes, the Allies
sucks.
of Convenience won the tag titles.
This ruled. I mean, it ruled. Like, I just like their pairing. They're clearly having a lot of fun. Listened to a lot of Alexa and Charlotte interviews this past week because they did a lot of media, and then they did the post show together. Like they're having fun, and you can tell they're having fun. Like I thought this was good stuff. I look forward to now. They're gonna be on both shows, so that should hopefully help out both shows. But it's fun. It's fun.
Hashtag bow down.
Hashtag bow down.
You'll be hashtag bowing down all over.
Yeah.
All over. It'll be in Orlando. It'll be in wherever Raw is. SmackDown. You think they're going to show up in NXT because that's where they quote unquote started?
They might, honestly.
I wouldn't mind it.
Surprise me.
Well, they got to do something for the Forbidden Door counter show. It's not. Is it Heat Wave? Yeah, it's Heat Wave because it's the end of August.
They should take the TNA Knockouts tag team titles.
Honestly, I'd like to see them face the Elegances.
Just for funsies.
Oh man, but yeah, it was a fun match. I thought that again they were going back and forth on the who should win throughout the week, but I think it's nice to capitalize on something that's been going well with Bliss and Flair having getting the fans behind them, and also Charlotte Flair getting that kind of renewed sense of, I don't even know, it's almost like a confidence in the ring that she always had, but there's just a new funness. Again, we talked about authentic characters. This is the first time you feel like you're seeing an authentic Charlotte Flair character interacting with Alexa Bliss. So I like that. And that was good. And you got to deal with what comes next for Roxanne and Raquel, and they lost their tag titles. How are the Judgment Day going to respond to this? I'm sure there will be a rematch tonight on Raw because of course there will.
I hope that there's no rematch. I'm sure there will be, but
Sami Zayn, Karrion Kross is the match that happened. You ever get tossed a big giant phallic object and just go?
They did the most boring finish they could have done, which
was expected.
Which is what I thought that they might do. It was like, what if Sammy just decides nah and still beats Cross? And that's exactly what they did. It's like, oh, okay. I don't know if Cross is coming back. I don't know if he's re-signed. My theory is that he will return because they usually don't put people in these prominent positions, even if they're beating them. If they're not going to be on television. But the way they laid this out, it's also like, yeah, he could potentially not return and not resign because there's no indication based on this that it should continue. So it was a match that, I mean, it was the worst match on the night. It might have been the worst match on the weekend. If you want to say the cage match, that's the only other one that I would feel was up there or down there with it. It just wasn't very good. Just wasn't very good.
Drew's asking, do we know when Cross's deal is up? I believe it was end of this month, as of right now. If you ask Cross, he'll say, I haven't re-signed anything. If you ask Scarlett, she'll say the same. We don't know what's going on with Cross, but this match was fine. It wasn't great. It wasn't offensive. How about that? It wasn't offensive. You've watched offensive matches. You're not going to be pulling this up on Worst of the Week.
Yeah, that sucks. I want offensive.
Well, I know you do. You do.
Boring 8-minute matches, though. Those are the worst matches. Those are the worst. That's why I dislike this match even more.
Do you think? Sorry, I was going to say, do you think that this continues on because Cross didn't really acknowledge his part of the deal other than like a nod?
Maybe Cross has got to come out tonight in Raw and just be like, Sami Zayn is a good human being, and I don't know what's left for me, so I am leaving. I have failed every single time that I have been given the opportunity to be proven right. I don't know what's left. And then he just leaves. And that's that. A boring 8-minute match is the worst kind of match. Truthfully. Give me an actual terrible match. Just 8 minutes of nothing? That's far more offensive than Jenna and Charmel.
You would.
And that
I
match
get
was at
it.
least hilarious.
I get it for you.
This match is just like, oh, okay, they're just like doing stuff and the crowd doesn't care and the work's like okay, but I'd much rather watch Jenna and Charmel than this boring ass 8-minute match.
Go watch Worst of the Weeds over on 5 Overbooked. Tiffany Stratton defeats Jade Cargill for the women's championship. She retains. I wasn't surprised. Can't tell you this was a very good match. They did it. You could tell that both women were actively thinking about the spots, and that was that. But
Yeah.
Tiffany retains. What's next for Jade? Who knows?
But Jade always looks like she's actively thinking about spots. So
That is factual.
that's nothing new. Like, it was a well laid out match of, all right, here's what we got to do. They didn't go too long. This was at least within the confines of, yeah, let's keep this at 6-7 minutes and hit the stuff we need to hit and get out of there. Should Jade have won? I don't think so, because I don't know. Just making her a dominant champion feels a little when you have so many talented women and Jade can't do a super long match right now. Tiffany's reign has been because she's allegedly a baby face, but she's still kind of a heel. It's very clear like they just don't trust either of them. I mean, they did video packages for the lead up. I think they did like one in-ring segment. The SmackDown before was a backstager.
Yep.
They just had a backstage. I don't like. I think Tiffany can have good matches against the right people. The Trish match was great. I like the Charlotte match. I know I'm on an island on that. That's fine. Jade, I haven't seen a whole lot in this run to be like, yeah, that's the person who can lead things right now. I don't think Tiffany can like lead things, mind you. That's why this match was always going to be what it was going to be. But I look forward to Bianca Belair returning. Bianca has got to return and probably get this title.
Do you think it would be Bianca and Jade in some sort of program first, or are they going to just be friends and kind of go from there?
Bianca should just immediately return and just beat Tiffany and for the title.
Do you tag up Jade with somebody and let her try and make a run on the tag division? This is so this is kind of a larger, like, why I ask all this is because if you think that Jade Cargill could be the next woman to lead your division, why not just try to give her, like, why not have her win the title, try it for a month, see how it goes, and if not, then you just go back to Tiffany Stratton. She's a very low risk opportunity in this case because she's Jade. She looks the way she does, she speaks the way she does. She's a compelling human being, a compelling character as well. So you can get away with it. And if it's just not working and it's just not clicking and it's just not, the matches aren't there, then you can just have her lose to Tiffany Stratton or whoever put the title back on her. You can make it so that you tried, but it feels like they're just not trying. They're not willing to go all in, is how it feels to me.
I think they tried with the Queen of the Ring run, and that was their attempt to try. And she didn't have a great match against Asuka. The match with Roxanne, right? That's who she faced was. But then the Naomi match, the no holds barred match was good because they had some weapons and Naomi, but I think that was their try. And when things didn't click there, it's like, oh, okay. I don't know if this is going to fully work out, at least for the time being.
And we'll see where it goes. Cyclops is better than Wolverine, said to Super Chat, saying, I think Bianca beats Tiffany and then Jade beats Bianca. You can do this where Bianca beats Tiffany and holds the women's championship going into WrestleMania, and Jade wins the Royal Rumble. And then you got Jade and Bianca at WrestleMania. And that's, again, whether or not they trust Jade to put on that match. Knowing Bianca, they would, and they would work their ass off, because the two women, have been on screen together for almost all of Jade's time in WWE. So, like, if that's where they're going, then I understand it. If that's Jade's crowning moment, then I hope that whatever has been missing in her in-ring development gets picked up by April of next year.
And not having house shows is where it hurts somebody like Jade, because she could be out there just on the live events, performing, probably being allowing to do a little bit more. And when you don't have that, it's like, oh, you just lose a lot of reps on that, because that's where you start to not think about things. You just go out there and you just do. And like you said, and what's very noticeable, she's just thinking out there. And the way to stop that is just through more reps and everything. And I'm sure she's getting reps in the gym, but not having those live reps is different.
Yeah, I agree with you. Getting rid of the house show loop can be detrimental, and that's why the TNA deal came into play. Giving reps to people who don't necessarily get them. Yeah, we'll obviously we'll be watching whatever happens with Jade next, but Tiffany continues to hold the world championship, and what does she do? I mean, who's left for Tiffany to go after, or to go after Tiffany?
And they're gonna have to switch some people onto SmackDown, because if Bianca's back soon, which hopefully she is, they've at least got Bianca. I mean, the rest of the division on SmackDown, Chelsea's a heel, and you've kind of cast her where you've cast her. You honestly know who, I don't know how good the matches would be. Some of it might be, I don't know how it would play out, but my pitch is Nikki Bella.
Okay.
Because Nikki ain't really doing anything right now.
That's true. And it feels like they're kind of killing time until Paris, at least, for whatever that match is going to be. Maybe it is Tiffany and Nikki in Paris. Should be Candice LeRae after last night. They should be rewarding her.
That would be great, but
yeah, big shooter roll. Yeah, but no, you can do Nikki and Tiffany. It wouldn't be offensive. I think people would buy into it, knowing that you're doing Stephanie Vaquer and Naomi next in Paris.
Yeah, I'd probably put Nikki Bella in that spot, because if it's not her, again, the SmackDown Women's Division just, I mean, let me read you this names who are on the roster page. Alexa Bliss, okay, but she's in the tag team right now. Alba Fire, not going to be her. B-Fab, not going to be her. Bianca's out right now. If she comes back, obviously that's your call. Candice, would love that. Probably not happening. Charlotte, tag team. Chelsea, she's at where she's at. I think it would be some fun if it was Chelsea, but Julia, she's got the U.S. title. Jade, just did that. Michin, she's at where she's at. Nia, we've seen that a million times. Piper, Zelina Vega. That's the SmackDown Women's roster.
Zelina's going to get a title shot.
They're either positioned, the three people who make sense are already champions, and then you got people that Tiffany's already beaten, or you've basically cast them into a mid-card role, and elevating them into a title win probably isn't happening. So Nikki Bella is my pitch.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see. Nikki Bella makes sense, but they got to move her over there and then do the work. Main events of night one. CM Punk beats Gunther. And then they sit there for 5 minutes, not saying anything and just playing the music. This was the tip off to me. I know a lot of people were expecting the Seth Rollins cash in. Those who were in the know, you just kind of had that feeling. But then they have CM Punk wins the match. And next thing you know, you've got just this Michael Cole talks, and then he stops for a long period of time. And then he says a few words, and then he drops for a long period of time. It felt to me like he was getting production cues from the back, and they were waiting on a changeover because they were going to do something. It was one of those kind of like when Punk came back and people were, Triple H took over the broadcast type of thing. That's the way it felt to me. Seth Rollins comes out, they play up the injury, and next thing you know, you've got the cash in. Seth Rollins wins the World Heavyweight Championship, beats CM Punk. CM Punk does not get his moment beyond the sun, and Seth Rollins is the new World Heavyweight Champion. He did it.
I thought Punk and Gunther was an atrocious match. No, that was a good match. That was a good match. It was a little long for my taste, but everyone knows what my taste is. But it was still a good match. They worked hard. It was strong. The Seth Rollins thing. I don't care that they did a worked knee injury. I said beforehand, more power to them. If that's how they want to do things, okay. There's still magic in working an injury and fooling a certain sector of fans and trying to fool the online fans and everything. That's their call. They got to address how that plays out backstage and like now what injuries will work, what's not. They got to figure all that out. But I don't care that they did it. The setup to this just flat out sucked. What was accomplished by the knee injury and faking it in that way? He came out and then he just tossed the crutches aside and then he just runs down to the ring and then he fight. You didn't have to fake a knee injury to do all of this.
I figured that they were going to have Bronson Reed beat up CM Punk from behind. And then
me too.
The reveal. And instead it was just like, here we go. It was not very well done, the reveal. Just to lead it down, because he still had to walk his ass down the ramp. I saw other people mention this, and I thought this was perfect. It's like, if Punk heard the music, why didn't Punk just leave? Just get out of the ring.
Yeah, he should have just pieced out. But
just be like,
he did.
Bye.
Just this.
Oh, you froze right at the perfect time. Are you gonna come back to me now?
Yeah.
You're back.
Just the setup just sucked, and it didn't make any sense to do it in that fashion because there was no point to it. Like in kayfabe, Seth Rollins' grand plan was to throw a match against LA Knight to fake a knee injury to potentially cash in on CM Punk, who was not the champion when he did that. He wasn't even the number one contender because Punk became the number one contender on the Raw after Saturday night's main event. So he wasn't the number one contender when he decided to fake this knee injury. I used to say long term, he's like, he's going to fake it until CM Punk is out, and then he can do it and cash in. Or whoever. It didn't have to necessarily be CM Punk. He just saw CM Punk was the champion, and then he's like, all right, this is my shot here. Which, fine. I can actually forgive all of that. But the way they did it, it was so just, I know SP3 says it, just moment farming. Of like, let's do the big toss the crutches aside. So we get that big pop and oh my gosh, oh. But it made no sense as to play as part as the cash in. Like you could have just done that without having to fake a knee injury the way you did it. It would have been much better if, Bronson attacked Punk from behind, or if Heyman attacked Punk from behind. And then Seth comes out and he hobbles down and he maybe cashes in and still gets up on his knee brace, but then takes it off and is like, oh shit, he wasn't actually hurt. That would have been much better. It just, the setup was weird. They just wanted the moment of toss the crutches aside at the top of the ramp. Ha 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 ha. That's it.
Did he laugh? I didn't see him laugh.
He always laughs.
It's like I was better than Wolverine. Say because CM Punk doesn't run away from the grind. Oh well.
Fair. I mean,
I get it.
Fair that he wasn't going to run away, but it's still just the way they did it was just like, it made no sense to fake a knee injury if that was going to be your whole plan, is let me reveal I'm not hurt at the top of the ramp after the match. It's weird.
It was. So because I'm going to, in the interest of transparency, if you read our chat, there was someone who had donated a super chat, said something that I told them in our chat that I'm not going to repeat. Just to let people know, the back and forth was, you can say whatever you can. I told this person, put something in the chat that I will read and I'll consider doing that. And they just kind of fought back. And then they said, keep the money, your cowardice is free, because I didn't say the words I didn't want to say on air because I don't agree with them. So I'm just letting people know, if you're going to send your money and I tell you to send something else, maybe just take it as a moment to like retrospectively think about what you said and then think of something smarter. That's it. And once again, in the interest of transparency, we do have a hard out today. We're going to be out in 4 minutes. So I don't know if our pal here can be done in 4 minutes, but I think we're going to try. Cam Hawkins is.
I'm taking that as disrespect, by the way.
Good, you should.
First of all, hey, Jeremy.
There we go.
How you doing?
Handsome devil, you. I in person at a watch party that we were hosting, Seth throwing out the crutches, taking off the knee brace was incredible in front of a live audience. Whatever build-up, whatever issues there were with it happening, it was perfect. I do not understand the level of which the thing you do, the thing Joel does, the thing you do together, the thing that we do. I don't understand how much it really digs into this thing, because when Punk won, nobody got up and left. Nobody was like, well, into the show, see ya. They all sat there knowing that the thing was the thing. Very fascinating. But it was great. Seth Cashin, like, it really did work out great in front of a live audience. Fun 2 nights. Hey, I'm going to be in a space tonight, I think, because somebody has decided that, you know, I wave the flag for those guys. And the thing that happened at the end of the show is somehow something I like, or something I'm a fan of, or something I appreciate. And I'm like, no, let's just talk about the thing. But I will say this really quickly. I've watched Joel talk about this and experience it in real time. Most of my work is done before I even touch the tarmac, right? Like, my work is done before I'm at the airport. And so being at a press conference, asking a question that does not contribute to my bottom line specifically. But I understand that a lot of our peers, that is their thing, especially if you work for a vertical that champions that needs that soundbite, that wants to produce content around the thing that you asked and the thing that they said. So I feel for my brothers and sisters, because they're losing. They're absolutely losing in the moment. And I hope that Joel hasn't seen this, but whenever I go to a thing being like a media day or any type of that, I bring somebody who's not supposed to be there almost every time, because it's valuable to them and their outlet and who they represent. So I will continue to do that if that's the way that they can get their bread. Thank you, guys. Hard out. So nice to see you always.
Come back tomorrow, Cam.
Hey,
Yes.
I'll be back tomorrow. Bye,
Come back
guys.
tomorrow.
Appreciate you,
Bye,
Cam.
Thank you.
As I meant, yeah. The hard out. Sorry for those who were like to go long. Normally we would, can't today just because it's a holiday and so my family's at home and I want to be respectful to that side of my work.
Cam set me up for the only other thing I'm gonna say about this. Cam with the Cardi B appearance, hosting the show, just came out there, night one. Hey everybody, never seen again.
What
Bless.
was that? I have
That ruled.
I have more questions about that than most other things on the card. Just didn't even sit down, didn't do guest ring announcer spot, didn't do a backstage or nothing. Released a compilation thing on her website, like a Cardi B WWE thing. Just ridiculous. Oh, amazing. Okay, because I got to get out of here. The Alvarez camo, the XP1, that's what we call it. Over on our other channel, that's on Fightful Overbooked, where this show airs Monday to Friday, 10 a.m. Eastern. We have we have XP points, and our XP points are tabulated throughout the entire month. And at the end of the month, the winner of the XP points on YouTube gets a cameo from Brian Alvarez. Does he know about it? Who knows? Probably not. But we just
We'll
like
see.
about it. We'll find out. The cameo has been completed for this month's winner. Going back to back was hour. We were going to do it today, but because of timing and because of content and everything, we are going to do it tomorrow. I'll pop in for that, and I believe I know SP3 will be here as well. So there we go. That's the plan for tomorrow. Before we get out of here, Jeremy, anything you want to plug?
No, I'm going to Dynamite on Wednesday. That's been confirmed. That's
Hell
my
yeah.
big plug. Yeah.
Love that for you.
I'm jumping the rail if I don't hear Vanilla Baby.
You're gonna jack off too?
Man, if
Wrong
Jack
channel. They don't know.
returns- Yeah. Don't get me in trouble, please. Please don't get me in trouble.
Go watch past episodes. Go subscribe to the other channel. Leave a thumbs up on this one. I get y'all have a feeling about what we're talking about and what we don't talk about, but I promise you, we're a fun show. You saw most of it, but we also get serious sometimes.
Today wasn't. Today we had to be too serious. That sucked.
Don't like doing that, but you know what? It's important to us to do it right, and we do it as best as we can. So for Jeremy, you know who I am, you know who he is, because I just told you who he is. Tomorrow, SP3 and Jeremy are back. We'll do it all again on Overbooked. Ladies, gentlemen, friends of me on the binary. We'll see you in the next one.